Welcome to beautiful Palm Springs Stadium for the second half of our PSCL doubleheader here at the stadium. It's the final regular season game here where the Angels used to hold spring training. Evan, it's the Grizzly and the Snowbirds. Grizzly come in at 8-6, Snowbirds 5-7-2, and some playoff seeding on the line.
Well, there's no doubt about it, especially for the Snowbirds. Got to do a little math here. They come in as the 7th seed. Well, they're tied with the Bombers. Looks like the Bombers are being awarded the tiebreaker. There's a lot of action all around them. So you have the Chill in 5th place, just a game in front of them in fifth in the standings. The Dragons only a half game in front. They're at 6th, tied with the Bombers, of course. And then the Bootleggers, Coyotes, and North Stars all come into today a half game behind the Snowbirds. So now the Snowbirds they're not going to play in that 12-13 seed playing game. That should be locked in as the Colonials and the Haymakers. And there's no chance for them to get a first round bye. The A's, Lumberjacks, and Blue Sox are locked in there, but a lot of movement possibly in the standings for the Snowbirds.
The Grizzly at 8-6. It's a 1-2 count on Jet Jacot, who leads off this game. Jacot 4 for 15 on the season, and will lead off in the final game of the year for the Grizzly. Takes inside 2-2. Jacot, Gorman, Bagatorian, and I think for this Grizzly team, Evan, we've circled them, at least I have, as a team that could make some noise. Hit 284 on the season, 417 on base, 757 OPS. They're pretty deep. The pitch is high, 3-2.
Well, it just seemed like a team, for the most part, that's been very consistent. They're not talked about as much, because especially with the A's, Lumberjacks, and the Blue Sox, the way they've dominated, whether it's the stacked offenses, some of their deep pitching staffs, especially the way the A's run the bases. But the Grizzlies aren't that far away, in my opinion.
Swing and a miss. It's a strikeout to start the game for Hagel. And there's one down. Hagel on the mound for the Snowbirds today. And as a pitching staff, Snowbirds worked through some trouble. 5.89 ERA on the year, 73 strikeouts.
Also, I'm curious to see how the Grizzly approach this game, especially if it remains competitive. Because based on what Kyle told me, Nash, the Grizzly manager, he should be locked into the 4 seed. He comes into today just one game ahead of the Chill, but I guess they have some kind of tiebreaker. He seems certain he's going to be the 4 seed no matter what happens today.
Cameron Hagel falls behind 2-0 on Gorman. Hagel on the season, 7 2/3. 8 strikeouts, 14 walks, and ERA just a tad over 14. But a strikeout of Jacot, and Gorman's up. That pitch is in there for a strike. It's 2-1 with one down here in the top of the first.
Max accidentally filled in the strikeout on the wrong side of the book.
Good start for my partner, Evan Schmeiser. I'm Nash Walker, by the way. Excited to bring you PSCL baseball. Gets in front of look like a fastball there. Pulls it foul. Gorman even up at 2-2. We've talked a lot about how the league has pitched, how the league has hit. And a 770 league-wide OPS this year. Grizzly just under that at 757. Here's the 2-2 from Hagel. Hit out to right. Twirling and will land foul. And for the Snowbirds pitching staff, better than league average ERA.
Well, that'll help. Pitching will be everything in the postseason. Especially if you're one of these teams who want to try and knock off the A's, Lumberjacks, and Blue Sox. All these teams, they're going to have to play at least one game just to get to the A's, Lumberjacks, and Blue Sox, who will get the bye.
Snowbirds 54 points above the average in the OPS category offensively. So maybe they're a team, Evan. The record doesn't look great, but maybe they're a team to watch in the playoffs. 3-2 count now, one out on Gorman, the third baseman for the Grizzly today.
Wait a minute, Nash. So what you're telling me is their pitching staff has been above average, and their offense has been above average.
Yep.
Yet their record is not. What happened? I gotta do some research.
Yeah, those are the
What happened to the Snowbirds? Are they
teams you watch.
Remember the one year the San Diego Chargers had the best offense as a team and the best defense as a team, but then because they're special teams, they missed the playoffs? They had like a historically bad special teams that year.
Here's Bagatorian, the first baseman, with a runner aboard now. One out, top of the first. First pitch from the lefty Hagel is outside. 1-0.
Trying to find a way to only see the Snowbirds games going back. Because you would think with these kind of good team numbers, they must have lost several close games in their 5-7-2 record.
That pitch is outside, 2-0.
Interesting anomaly. I might have to ask Hammer about this.
Snowbirds coming off a tough 7-6 loss to the Chill. That's upstairs 3-0. And then they lost 7-5 to the Blue Sox, so some close losses. They beat the Bombers 7-4, beat the Lumberjacks. No, excuse me. Lost to the Grizzly 8-7. So this is a rematch right here.
So they played a lot of close games.
Right. That's ball 4 on Bagatorian. It'll be first and second now with one out in the top of the first. Close losses will turn what looks like an above-average team into a below-average team in the record category.
Oh, I know all about that being a Phillies fan, Nash. You don't have to tell me twice.
They also lost 5-4 to the Bombers.
Bombers been playing real good baseball. They've won a couple in a row. Now up to 6-8.
First pitch down and away on Bainsberger. Played a lot of second base for the Grizzly this regular season.
You know, Nash, I'm really curious to see, especially which teams are the hottest as they go into the postseason. You have the Coyotes, who are almost dead to rights. Looked like it'd be a certainty they play the play-in. Now they've won 3 in a row. No chance for the play-in now for them. And you have the Green Dragons. They started the season 5-2-3. They've lost 4 in a row.
2-0 count, and that's outside, 3-0.
So Liam Bainsberger, he's walked 3 times, 1 for 16 this season.
And that's down and in, ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for Shaked Baruch.
And 3 straight walks. We're going to have a meeting on the mound. That's a bit of a danger zone.
Meeting on the mound. And we've kind of seen teams, at least in our first game, Evan, save some arms for the playoffs, perhaps.
Well, I assume you have to, no matter what happens. I mean, I know we have there's obviously the rule about stealing pitchers from the other teams that are eliminated. So I'm not sure how that'll exactly work. But I mean, the playoffs start tomorrow.
So bases juice, 1 out for Shaked Baruch. And Baruch on the season is 4 for 15 with 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, 476 on base percentage. And early trouble for Hagel. First pitch. Hit high toward right field. And making the call and catch is Bowie. There will be no tag, and that's a big second out.
Oh, that's exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Cam Hagel and the Snowbirds. You got a pop-up on a first pitch swing, nowhere near deep enough to score Gorman over at third base, and now you have a chance to get out of this. You have a force to any base and get out of it without allowing a run.
2 down, bases juice still for Javon Canada. And Canada's 3 for 16, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Hitting 187, but a 381 on base percentage.
Ooh, nearly hit him.
That's way inside, 1-0.
You know, even this season, the Snowbirds have scored 90 runs and only allowed 78 runs. And they're 5-7-2. Small sample size, relatively speaking, but it's still a bit of an anomaly.
Had to double take on this stat as that's a called strike on Canada. 49 steals and 52 tries for the Grizzly.
Whoa. That is impressive.
Quick calculator math says that's a 94% steal rate. That's inside 2-1.
That's pretty good, Nash.
So yes, the A's may have more steals on the season. The Grizzly have been incredibly efficient on the bases. And that's a swing and a miss, 2-2. And actually, the Snowbirds team has 55 steals. A's are also at 55 steals.
Oh, okay, that could be interesting, trying to finish the regular season. Well, the A's didn't get a chance to steal that much because they won 20-4. I'm not going to see many stolen bases in those situations.
Up 3-2. Bases loaded, full count, top of the first. Javon Canada. With 2 down, trying to get a big hit here. Or take a walk, and here's the 3-2. Foul back.
This could be a big opportunity for the Grizzly, especially on a base hit. The runner's going to be off, so 2 runs would score easily on the ball to the outfield. 3 walks issued by Cam Hagel here in the inning. It's a dangerous game to play when you put guys on.
The 3-2. Outside. Ball 4. And it's 1-0 Grizzly. On a bases loaded walk. And Canada fought off a good pitch. And Hagel lost him. Bases still loaded now for Lee Matsuzaki. Still 2 down. 1 run home for the Grizzly.
Grizzly are 5th in the league as a team coming into today in drawing walks at 69. Haymakers lead the way at 77.
First pitch on Matsuzaki. Inside, lefty-lefty matchup here.
Snowbirds have, as a pitching staff, have issued the fewest walks in the entire league coming into today at 45. A bit uncharacteristic. We've seen 4 walks here in the first.
Matsuzaki 4 for 20
Ooh.
on the season. Hits that into the Snowbirds dugout. It's 1-1.
I think somebody got drilled in that play. Look, everyone looks okay. What balls hit that hard, but nice little wake-up call. Good thing with the summers out here, it doesn't sting quite as much.
Here's the 1-1 on Matsuzaki. Foul back late, 1-2. So Hagel gets ahead.
Well, Hagel's gotten ahead a few times here in this inning. I want to see him really trying to attack the strike zone. Maybe something effective even out of the zone on a 1-2 count.
He struck out Jaco, and then 4 of the next 5 walked. Here's the 1-2. Reaches out, bloops it into short left, and that's going to drop in for a hit. 2 runs will score on the play. It's a 2-run bloop single for Lee Matsuzaki, and the Grizzly take a 3-0 lead as that ball gets away, and both runners will move up into scoring position. So the Grizzly are up 3-rip as Canada moves up to third. Matsuzaki moves up to second. Still 2 outs, but 3 runs are home in the top of the first for the Grizzly.
I mean, you can't ask for a better pitch from Cam Hagel than that. A great breaking ball, lefty, down and away, out of the strike zone. I mean, Matsuzaki just threw the bat at it, got off the end, and just found a perfect place to put it. Good piece of hitting on his part, and just good things happen when you put the ball in play. And it makes things a lot tougher, though, when you end up walking people in, because then you get a situation like that, where in a normal situation, no big deal, a bloop hit. This time it's 2 runs.
That one's hit out to third. Bobbled. Another run will score. Here's the throwback to second. Safe. So bobbled at third by Outler. And another run comes home. The Grizzly lead it 4-0. And I assume that will be an error of him.
Yeah, we haven't got an official word yet. It's got to be an error. It looked like he got on one of those in-between hops to the Outler. That's one of those balls where either you'd want to charge it right away, get on the big hop, or maybe even backpedal and make it a slightly bigger hop when it's hitting that dirt. So it's not great speed from Desjardins going up the line. But it's also one of those things, sometimes you might just be on your heels a little bit if you're standing around for a long time.
Desjardins at first, Matsuzaki at second. That pitch is up on Karamuchev, who is the 9th man to bat here in the top of the first. It's 4-0 Grizzly.
And just one hit this inning, that being the bloop single from Matsuzaki in the left.
And that is up and away. So the bases were loaded with 2 outs. No runs were home. Hagel had a chance to get out of it. Instead, a bases loaded walk, a 2-run single from Matsuzaki. And he's heading for third. That's hit hard to left down the line. Fair ball. Ball rolls down to the corner. Matsuzaki scores easily. DeJernitz waved around third. He'll score easily. It's 6-0 on a 2-run double from Karamuchev.
Well, Matsuzaki was about to have third base stolen. He was running even before the pitch was thrown. And how about that rocket from Karamuchev right into the corner? And you got a breaking ball, not a bad pitch from Hagel, probably a little higher and got a little more plate than he would have wanted. And Karamuchev did exactly what you want to do with a mistake like that, a rope right into the left field corner. So that's going to be it for Hagel. We're going to have a pitching change right here in the first inning.
So a quick hook, 6-0 Grizzly lead. This game's going a lot like the first one, Evan, when the A's scored 12 in their first inning. And we'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we return. Grizzly up 6-0 in the top of the first. Runner off second, 2 down. It's a 6-0 lead for the Grizzly as Caden Stillwell checks into the ballgame as the pitcher, and Shigemitsu takes strike one. Harrington moves to second. Stillwell to the mound. In 3 2/3, he's given up 1 run, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts on the season for Stillwell. And that's hit out toward third on 1 hop. Picked up, fired over to first for out number 3. Nice play. Outler recovers, but a 6-run top of the first. The Grizzly have a big lead here. Snowbirds will try to cut into it when we return. Shigemitsu to the mound for the Grizzly here in the bottom of the first. They have a 6-0 lead over the Snowbirds. He'll face Bowie, Stillwell, and Farwell in the home half of the first. And like you said, Evan, this Snowbirds club, well, the record doesn't look great. The peripheral numbers show that they could be a threat in the playoffs.
Yeah, Nash, that tells me that I don't want to face them in the first round. I'd be very curious if I'm one of the higher seeds where they end up falling.
First pitch on Bowie is low. From Shigemitsu, who was the last out.
Yeah, they
that big top of the first.
Sent 10 men to the plate, 10 out of 10. Shigemitsu with a 4.76 ERA and 5 2/3 innings this season. Keep an eye on the walks. He's walked 8 guys, struck out 7.
Dylan Bowie is 12 for 30 on the season, 11 singles. He's hitting 400 with a 947 OPS. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. 4 walks, 11 strikeouts for Bowie.
Did we see Bowie in the All-Star game last night? I'm trying to remember.
I was thinking of that when I was reading his line, because that's a...
It seems like an All-Star line.
Yeah, it's about in line with the guys we saw last night. We saw Sarmiento, who was not in the starting lineup today for the Snowbirds, but he's the OPS leader on this team.
All these names and substitutions on the PSCL side in the All-Star game, Nash. 3 waves.
That's up and in, 2-2.
Bowie. I mean, there were several guys who were... Oh, there he was. There's Bowie. He was in the second spot of the order. He played right field in the 4th to the 6th innings.
3 home runs for the Snowbirds this year. Barksdale, Farwell, Sarmiento, all with long balls. And as I said, Sarmiento not in the starting lineup today. 2-2 breaking ball. Good try. Outside 3-2.
Looks like Bowie walked last night in the All-Star game in the 5th.
Stillwell's taken 38 plate appearances. He's the team leader. And here's number 38 for Bowie as he singles to left. So a leadoff single for the Snowbirds trying to battle back. They give up 6 in the top half of the first, and Bowie's aboard.
Well, it's definitely a good sign right there from the Snowbirds. Just regardless of what the score is, whether they're able to make a game out of this, or even if they're able to just do something good, try and find some momentum to take away from this, especially as you go into the postseason tomorrow. You want to be riding high.
Bowie, 10 for 11 in steal attempts as Stillwell takes strike 1 on the outer half. It's 6-0 Grizzly in the bottom of the first. He scored 6 runs on 2 hits. Couple of errors. Bowie leads out. That pitch is high, 1-1.
So I tell you, especially with these single elimination games, it's all going to be about whoever gets hot. That's it. There he goes.
That's in there for a strike. Here's the throw down. Not close. Stillwell, 11 for 12 in steals. Bowie, 11 for 12 in steals this year. He has another, gets himself into scoring position.
Well, if you're the Snowbirds, you want to at least try and manufacture 1 run right here. Especially with a man on second and nobody out.
Breaking ball is high, 2-2 on Stillwell, the second baseman today, who came in and got a quick third out in relief in the first. And he pops that one up foul and out of play.
Pretty good pitch there from Shigemitsu. I like the idea of going with a fastball in the inner half. Still just able to stay alive.
2-2, nobody out. Bowie leads off second. Grizzly have a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Wow, Shakid Baruch's playing really shallow and towards the line and right.
Breaking ball hit toward the middle. Couple of hops and it gets through. They're going to wave Bowie around. He'll come in to score. And you figure that'll be an RBI single for Caden Stillwell.
We'll lay on the scoring for that in just a moment. Either way, though, really good sign for the Snowbirds, still with nobody out, able to push a run across the plate. If they're able to get 1 or 2 more right here, it's very much a ball game again.
I don't know where our scorer is.
Oh, I see him. He's by the first base coaching box.
Okay.
I can't remember if this is the team he usually hangs out with. thought it was the North Stars.
He's asking us. What do you think, Evan?
I give it.
I said hit.
Well, they're paying to be out here. I'll say hit.
We're going to go with hit. Official score is a hit.
Hammer goes unless Schmeiss disagrees.
My response, he's fine.
Yeah, we'll go hit and RBI.
So it's an RBI knock for Stillwell, and Farwell will step in now, the catcher today. That pitch is down and in, 1-0. It's 6-1. Grizzly lead it here in the first.
So in that case, back-to-back hits to start off the game for the Snowbirds.
That's hit towards second.
Ooh.
Chance at 2, tough hop. That grass has been brutal. And heading for third is Stillwell. That ball's thrown away. So Farwell will move up to second. It looked like a routine double play ball. Caught a lip of the grass. Popped into right field. And now second and third with nobody out.
Yeah, that's another tough one to try and score. I'd say there's got to be an error on the high throw going to third to allow.
2 errors on the play.
So Hammer's going to rule out an error all the way.
Yep.
That makes sense. It's a tough error. That ball took a crazy, crazy bounce. And a really good break for the Snowbirds. That could have easily been a double play ball if not for the crazy bounce.
Second and third called strike now on Stanley, the DH today. So the Snowbirds threatening here in the bottom of the first.
Oh, wait, so 2 errors on the play.
Yep, 2 errors. Stillwell reaches out, pops that one down the right side and out of play. It's 0-2. Couple of errors each side here in the first inning. 2 hits apiece, but 6 runs for the Grizzly thanks to 4 walks.
Yeah, if you're the Snowbirds right now, a big opportunity. You have a chance to make this a 6-3 ball game without even needing a hit.
0-2. Inside, 1-2. Good try from Shigemitsu.
Yeah, it was close. Next, looks like we got the city workers here cleaning up the bleachers from our big event last night.
That's hit toward right field and off the glove of Bagatorian. That'll be a knock and another run will score at 6-2. So an RBI single for Stanley. Still nobody out as Farwell moves up to third. Stillwell comes home to score.
Well, an excellent piece of hitting there from Stanley. Good pitch on the outer half from Shigemitsu. He reached out. He kept his hands back really well. You know, it's a game of inches, Nash. Just off the glove of Bagatorian. And, of course, go down as a hit all the way. And 6-2, still nobody out. Big opportunity for the Snowbirds.
Tying run on deck. First and third for Yo, the extra hitter. Check on the runner, and Stanley gets back in safely. So RBI hits here. Stanley most recent. That pitch is high, and it's a throw down. It's called out, but the run will score. It's a weird looking play.
Yeah, it looked like a delayed steal attempt from Stanley. I think Stanley thought he might have gotten his foot in.
But he's ruled out. That's the first out of the inning. Farwell comes home to score.
It's just surprising to see. Like just a delayed steal like that. Like it almost looked like initially like he was trying to just get the run home, but I don't think that's exactly what he was doing.
So nobody on now, 6-3. Snowbirds have cut it in half. And a 2-0 count on Yo with 1 down. Now no traffic on the bases, 2-1. Maybe you're conceding the out for the run there, Evan. It's an interesting steal.
Well, I'd say the Grizzly would gladly take an out for a run. So it technically goes down as a steal of home for Farwell. And then a caught stealing to Stanley.
That pitch is outside. So 3-1 on Yo.
That's Farwell's 3rd stolen base this season.
3 hits in the inning. 3-1 is high. Ball 4. First walk by Shigemitsu. And that'll bring up Pita with 1 out. It's 6-3. Grizzly in front of the Snowbirds. Bottom of the first. 1 down.
And, just a few minutes ago, Nash, it almost looked like it'd be Grizzly just riding home with this game all the way. It's very much a ball game again. Gotta give a lot of credit to the Snowbirds. No quit in them by any means. They're fighting back.
Some of the highest scoring first innings we've seen all PSCL season in these first 2 games of him.
Nash, we had a combined 15 runs last game in the first inning. And the first inning also took about 45 minutes between the two teams. What are we at now for time?
31 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1-1, at least 9 home here in the first for both clubs. That's hit high to left field.
Oh, we forgot the outs.
Oh,
Never mind.
Canada
Whoa.
lost it in the sun. Another run will score. And pulling into second is PETA. And we've seen left field can be tough to play at this time of day. Canada lost it out there. And that'll be a double for PETA, an RBI double, and it's 6-4.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it has to be. The way I saw it, I thought that ball was going to be caught right away from Canada. It looked like he had a beat on it initially coming in, and I thought Minja Yo was going to be doubled off. The way he was running, I thought he forgot about the outs. I guess he had a good look at it, knowing the ball was going to go over his head. So good base running on Yo's part.
So 1 down. And here's the tying run at the plate in the bottom of the first, and Steed Outler, who's playing 30 pitch last night for the PSCL All-Stars. PETA at second after the RBI double. Outler swings at the first pitch, hits it high to right field. Baruch has a read on it, makes the catch for the second out, no tag.
Man, Nash, the ball's really traveling well this morning. That ball out, previous at bat, out the ball to Canada and left. That ball traveled much better than I thought it would, and the same thing with the fly ball to Baruch. It's sending back a decent ways. We know it travels much better during the day than it does at night, but it's really jumping here today.
In steps the left fielder Hatcher. With 2 down, still the tying run at the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. So 10 runs in the first, Evan. 6 from the Grizzly, 4 from the Snowbirds. And we'll see if the Birds can add on right here with 2 outs. 0-1. Popped up. Straight in the air. And caught behind home.
Good play.
Nice call and catch from Karamuchev for the 3rd out. We're through the first. Grizzly lead it 6-4 over the Snowbirds. And the Grizz will come up and hit when we return in the 2nd inning. The leadoff man, Jet Jaco, is in for his 2nd at-bat. Struck out swinging to lead off the game. The Grizzly lead at 6-4 here in the top of the second. That's popped up, backing out of play. Stillwell back to the mound for the Snowbirds. And he came in relief in the first. It was a 6-run first for the Grizzly. That one's inside, 1-1.
You know, Nash, we talked about earlier, the first inning in this game looked a lot like our previous bout with the A's and the Colonials. That first inning took 33 minutes between the two teams. I don't know if we're playing 7 today.
Jaco's hit by a pitch. And that is the 5th free pass so far. Handed out by the Snowbirds.
Very un-Snowbirds-like from what we've seen all season. Came into today allowing the fewest amount of free passes as an entire pitching rotation. I mean, those 6 runs, only 2 hits on the board for the Grizzly, one of them being the blue pit, of course, from Matsuzaki. Karamuchev's double was hit hard, of course.
That is down in the dirt on Gorman. You know, I will say, Stillwell's only thrown 3 2/3 this year, so not a guy they've relied on. Ethan Mann's thrown 19, and of course their ace is Steed Outler, who's got a 0.47 ERA in 19 innings as well. Gorman swings and misses, 1-1. So staying away from their bigger arms today, Scott Detweiler, 16 innings, 3.37 ERA.
Which, it makes perfect sense. You have the playoffs starting tomorrow. Even if you are the Snowbirds, and you could jump around the standings quite considerably, whether you win or lose, you need your horses to be ready to go, because it's going to be a very intense 3 days around here for the playoffs.
1-1 on Gorman. Gorman walked and scored in the first, and there goes Jaco. Throw down is late. It's a stolen base for Jet Jaco.
I tell you what, that Jaco's a big guy, but he was moving it up to second base. He stole that bag real easily. And a pretty good throw from Farewell behind the plate.
So it's a stolen base for Jaco. He's in scoring position with nobody out. Grizzly up 6-4 on the Snowbirds. Top of the second. That's down and away, 2-1. And now 3-1. So falling behind on Gorman. Here's the 3-1 from Stillwell. In there for a strike. Painted. Outer half. It's 3-2.
I'd say if you're Stillwell, you need to throw another fastball here in the strike zone. If Gorman hits you, he hits you, but it's putting all these guys on base just makes it that much more dangerous. Ooh.
That one's fouled back off Farwell's mask.
It looks like everybody's okay, fortunately. You've seen a few foul balls throughout the season where it's really gotten the catcher and even the umpire at times pretty hard. I assume Farrell knows what he's doing with checking to make sure the mask is okay and that he'll be protected.
The payoff pitch to Gorman. It's hit high to left field. And we've seen some tough plays. Yep.
Ooh.
Making the catch, though. Nice job as Hatcher out there. He was in, he was out, makes the catch, and there's your first out.
Yeah, that sun is very much a factor out in left field. I'm used to seeing for the early morning game, the right fielder having more issues, but I mean, you can see it right there. Hatcher did not see that ball right away, and then he had to go back in a hurry to make that grab. So credit to him with staying with the ball.
And here's Bagatorian, who walked and scored as well in the first. 1 out, runner at second. Grizzly lead it by 2. They're up 6-4.
Nash, I've had my share of balls at playing the infield where I've lost in the sun. And it's a lonely feeling.
It's hit pretty hard out to third. Check on the runner on the plate at first. Nice job by Outler for the second out. So 2 down for Bamesberger. James walked, scored in the first. 2, 3, 4 in this order, all walked, and they all scored. As did Canada out of the 6th spot. Part of a 6-run first for the Grizzly.
Nash, you ever lose the ball in the sun or the lights during your days?
I had trouble catching pop-ups on the infield, actually. That pitch is outside 1-0. I'd get spun around. I lose the ball, and then I'm like, there's no chance I'm catching this.
It's like hypnotizing. You look up at it for so long. They teach you to try to blink.
As soon as the ball gets behind you, you're done. You can't let the ball get behind you.
Yep.
On a pop-up, because then you're
more
spinning
difficult.
around and you're trying to find it. You got to stay in front of the ball.
Yep.
2-0 on Bamesburger. I've had too many times I'd care to admit where the ball landed behind me. And that is up and in 3-0 as a third baseman.
Yeah.
Looking up into the sky and I got it. No, I don't. 3-0 on Bamesburger. With Jaco still at second base after he was hit and stole second. 3-0. Down and away, it's a 4-pitch walk. First and second now for Shaked Baruch.
You know, Nash, even playing in the high school, like I mostly played the infield, I was never comfortable catching pop-ups. Especially as the kids got older and bigger, they hit them higher up in the air. Whether it was aluminum or BB core bats. It didn't matter if it was windy or... I was usually pretty good at shielding my eyes from the sun, but I was just never comfortable. I was more of a corner infielder. I always preferred when the second baseman or shortstop would call me off.
Pitch is up and in on Baruch, and he's ahead 1-0. Flew out to right in his first plate appearance. Stillwell wants a new baseball. Trying to find the field. 5 straight balls.
You know, I'll tell you, Nash, when I turned 13, I joined a travel team. I was playing up a year, and basically I had to learn to play the outfield because the infield was really crowded. And even with having to learn in a relatively short period of time, I was much more comfortable catching fly balls in the outfield than I was catching pop-ups in the infield.
Yep. 2-0 on Baruch. Yeah, that's down in the dirt, 3-0. So 7 straight balls from Stillwell here. And he's in danger of walking the bases loaded.
That's the last thing you want. I'll say this about the outfield, too. I always preferred playing right field over left field. Something about the way the lefties and righties tend to hit the ball and the way it spins off their bats, except in there for strike one, it seemed like the ball would get out to you quicker in left field, and as a right fielder, it would kind of hang up for you a little better. It's not spinning in as crazy of a way. It's just easier.
3-1 on Baruch, and that's down and away, ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Javon Canada. Grizzly lead at 6-4 in the top of the second. Now bases loaded, 2 down, and Canada steps in. He walked and scored in the first. So far today, Evan, 4 walks in the first inning, 2 more walks and a hit batter in the second inning.
I mean, part of this can happen sometimes, especially if you're trying to save all of your best pitchers. But, I mean, still, it's surprising to see from the Snowbirds. They just don't put many people on base.
Yeah, mound visit here for Stillwell. Looks like he will get a chance to wiggle his way out of this thing with 2 outs.
Yeah, there's nobody up in the bullpen. Of course, you're trying to pick up a shutdown inning if you're the Snowbirds. You fell behind 6-0. You really battled back. Some terrific at-bats. Took advantage of a few breaks, some mistakes in the field from the Grizzly. You made it back into a 2-run game. Last thing you want to do if you're the Snowbirds is start to give that rally back to them.
So 2 down, juiced up for Javon Canada. Grizzly lead at 6-4. That's in the dirt, and a nice stop by Farwell back there.
Boy, heck of a play by Farwell. That fastball was spiked into the dirt. That could have easily gone to the backstop, but heck of an effort to stop it.
So a 4-pitch walk on Bamesburger, a 5-pitch walk on Shaked Baruch, and Stillwell falls behind Canada 1-0.
Still just 1 pitch away for Stillwell getting out of this inning without allowing anything.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Like we said last night, Evan, there's always a way out. And the All-Stars took advantage of that mantra, got into some jams against a good power offense, and still found a way. 1-1, dribbled up to second. Might be a tough play, and a nice one from Stillwell, from a checked-in second baseman over there.
That's Will Harrington.
Harrington, yeah. So Harrington makes a nice play. And they get out of the inning with a 0 spot. So it's 6-4 Grizzly over the Snowbirds, and the Birds will come up and hit when we return. Ray will step in here in the bottom of the second with the Grizzly up 6-4. Snowbirds trying to tie or take the lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Don't know how many innings we'll get in today. Hopefully 4 or 5.
I mean, frankly, if you're, in a way, if you're looking at the pitching stats, it almost does both teams a favor if you don't play as many innings, with the time limit being a factor.
This is true.
Obviously, they respect the game. They're going to play it the right way.
Shigemitsu tosses that in there for strike one. Shigemitsu gave up 4 runs in the first, but a couple of errors behind him. Oh, 1 foul back, going 2 on Ray. It'll be Ray Barksdale Bowie due up here.
Yeah. Jack Ray played in the All-Star game last night. Interesting to see him in a 9 spot in the order. He's hitting .320. 3 RBIs to his credit.
0-2 on Jack Ray is high, 1-2. Shigemitsu sit down Outler and Hatcher. To strand a runner in the first, and 1-2 is up and away, 2-2. Good take.
So for anyone who's curious, it's a full day of PSCL action here on the final day of the regular season. Of course, we have the Grizzly and the Snowbirds. The Blue Sox and Green Dragons are playing on the turf field just beyond the right field wall. Even the high school field is used today.
That is up and away, 3-2. Don't want to lose them.
I wonder what the results of these games are. It'd be big for the standings. The Coyotes and Bombers played at 9:30 on the high school field.
Coyotes and Bombers tied 6-6.
Yeah, we had a really nice fan right there giving us the information. We appreciate it.
They are locked into the PSCL here.
Yes, yes. No, it's big for the standings.
Payoff pitch on Ray, and he fouls it back. Still 3-2, bottom of the second. Grizzly lead at 6-4. Snowbirds, 4 hits, 3 singles and a double in the first. Time called by Ray at the plate. Putting together a good battle here. He fell behind 0-2. Worked his way back to a full count. Fouled off a tough pitch, and here's Shigemitsu. Breaking ball fouled at the plate. I think it was off his foot.
Yeah, those are never fun, Nash. You know, it's interesting. A lot more guys these days are wearing that little shin guard in their front foot, but a lot of times the ball finds a way to often miss the guard and still hit you.
Yeah, you can easily break your shin fouling it off your foot.
Oh, yeah. There was a bit of I had a stretch for maybe part of a season where I'd kind of pull off from certain pitches on the inside half of the plate and my shoulder would fly open. I'd get on top of the ball and foul several pitches off my shin.
Doesn't feel good. That ball's fouled straight back.
No, and I'm skinny. I didn't have a whole lot of protection there.
3-2 still to count. Nobody out. Bottom of the second.
You ever foul pitches off your foot?
I never did, actually. I never did. I was too busy ripping them in the gaps.
Nice.
That pitch is inside. Taken. Ball 4.
Good at bat. You know, that Snowbird dugout is fired up, Nash. They only trail by 2 runs, so a chance to try to tie or maybe even take the lead here in the second.
Omari Barksdale is the tying run. The center fielder gets a chance here with the runner aboard. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. Grizzly up 6-4. So nice at bat for Ray.
Terrific at bat.
Plate appearance, I should say. That's hit hard to left center. Running catch in the alley for Canada. Nice job. Lost the ball in the sun an inning ago and tracks that one down for the first out.
Well, aggressive on the first pitch was Barksdale. He hit that ball pretty well in the left center, and just like you said, Nash, Canada, excellent closing speed. He got a great jump. He really got around the ball nicely, a good angle, and turned that into a pretty routine play on a ball where I thought had a chance to at least drop him for a hit.
So the lineup will flip over for Bowie, who singled, stole second, and scored in the first. Ray's still at first base, and now he'll take off for second. Here's the throw. It's too high. Nice backup from Jaco, but it's a stolen base for Ray, and he's in scoring position.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest jump in the world from Jack Ray that time, but excellent closing speed nonetheless. I don't think a good throw would have had him anyway. Good backup there from Jacot. See, 11th stolen base this season for Ray. Came into today tied for third.
So 2-0 or 1-1, excuse me, on Bowie. And swing and a miss, 1-2.
And you can also take advantage and try to steal bases, especially if you have pitchers out there who maybe haven't thrown as many innings. They're not used to holding these guys on, or maybe they don't know the scouting reports as much. Hopefully they kind of forgot about Ray out there at first. He has a huge lead at second.
That ball's fouled off on 1-2 down to the umbrellas.
The ball finds you in all sorts of ways. 3 fans there needed the umbrella for protection.
So count stands at 1-2 with 1 down, bottom of the second. Grizz lead it 6-4. Here's the 1-2 outside. Here's the throw on the third and another steal attempt, and Ray has 2 steals in 1 inning. He's aboard at third.
And Shigemitsu, he just wasn't paying any attention to Jack Ray. He got a huge lead on the previous foul ball, another big lead. He timed him up perfectly and stole third pretty easily.
Jack Ray now 90 feet away with 1 out. A 2-2 count on Bowie.
Now a ground ball can make it a 6-5 ball game.
That's hit hard to left field, gonna twirl foul and out of play, but he was right on that.
He was. That's the advantage of a pitcher who's able to throw inside. That ball looked like it had a little bit of life on it too, even tailing further in towards the right-handed batter. Sometimes it just forces you to just pull it foul instead of keeping it fair for a base hit.
You're either gonna get jammed on a fair ball or you're gonna pull it hard foul.
Yep.
2-2 in the dirt, 3-2. So Jack Ray on the season now 12 for 12 in stolen base attempts.
That's a remarkable stat.
He's been perfect on the bases.
That'll make Aiden really happy. He likes efficiency. We like efficiency too.
That's ball 4. So Bowie will take his base runners at the corners now. Still only 1 out. And Caden Stillwell will get a chance as the go-ahead run. There'll be a mound visit here. Looks like just the infielders.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity here for the Snowbirds. They already mentioned they have a lot more to play for. So the Snowbirds came into today tied with the 7th seed. They do not have the tiebreaker, so technically they'd be the 8th seed if the season ended before today. They could potentially have a chance to move up all the way to the 5 seed if they win today. And a loss could put them all the way down to the 11th seed. So they have quite a bit to play for. The Grizzly, not quite as much. They're trying to just save everybody, try to keep everybody sharp, maybe get a little momentum going to the playoffs. So it's a very different outlook for this game for both teams. This is interesting. We got a change in left field.
Stillwell checks in first and third.
So Cameron Desjardins is the new left fielder.
Check on the runner. And
Desjardins started the game as an extra hitter. So no change in the lineup, just a straight up position change.
Grizzly tend to do that quite a bit. There's a called strike on Stillwell.
That was to keep us on our toes, Nash.
Stillwell singled and scored in the first. Part of a 4-run first for the Snowbirds. They trail 6-4. Runners at the corners, though, with 1 out. A chance to at least get within 1 run. That is down and away, 1-1. So 1-1, 1 out.
You know, Nash, I have a good feeling that change in the outfield was so Javon Canada can start warming up in the bullpen. I wonder how I figured that one out.
Canada is up and warming.
Yes, he is.
That pitch is fouled away. It's 1-2.
I was pretty impressed with myself right there, Nash.
Wondered why it happened, and then, no, you see Canada warming up down there.
Never know. He might have also just been like, yeah, I'm gonna mess with the broadcast a little bit. That old Kyle.
1-2, hit into center, should be deep enough.
Or will it be?
Running in, making the catch. Bluff tag, here's the throw to the plate. It was a great one, and I think Ray would have been out by a mile, Evan.
I think so too. It's a shame we don't have flight scope working this morning. Man, Matsuzaki got a ton on that throw. What do you think? Over or under 86 miles per hour on the throw, Nash? We're just guessing, of course.
Probably right around there. That was a great throw. And now 2 down, that's a big second out. But not done yet. Farwell will step in.
This will be big for the Grizzlies if they can get out of this inning not allowing anything, especially with this jam.
Farwell reached on air, now gets hit in the back, and the bases will load back up for Stanley. So the tying run up to second base. The go-ahead run is over at first. There'll be a courtesy runner for Farwell.
That'll be Kevin Muller.
So Muller will run for the catcher at first base, and the bags are loaded in the bottom of the second for Stanley. First pitch, down in the dirt, 1-0. So a big second out. Nice throw from center from Matsuzaki. And then a hit batter on the first pitch. Here's the 1-0. Up and in, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Bottom of the second, Grizzly lead the Snowbirds 6-4. And that is in there for a strike. Stanley got one to hit, Evan.
He might have been taking all the way right there. You wonder if he wanted that pitch back. Whew. Never a guarantee to get another one like that, the way these PSCL pitchers will throw backwards.
2-1, fouled. And that one was low.
Nice play by the third base coach right there. Cut Hammer right off. It's like, no, that ball's mine.
So Shigemitsu is back into this count. It's 2-2 with 2 down. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. Here's the 2-2 from Takeo. Shigemitsu hit up the middle and threw for a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes the next run, and that bounces away into center field. The Snowbirds are going to take the lead. Stanley's up to third. And it's a bases clearing, I think we'll call it double, with an extra bag on the error in center. But either way, it's a 7-6 lead for the Snowbirds.
How about that change of events? My goodness. 2 runs we're probably going to score no matter what. But the mistake in the center field from Matsuzaki, I guess he falls right under his glove as he was going to come up throwing with it. Just went right on by him. Wow, what a change of events for the Snowbirds as they take a 7-6 lead. My goodness.
Pitching change here. It's a 3-run knock for Stanley. Snowbirds lead at 7-6. We'll introduce you to Javon Canada when we return. Javon Canada is in. And a lot of damage has been done here in the bottom of the second. Snowbirds put 3 on the board. They take a 7-6 lead over the Grizzly. Fell behind 6-0 in the first, and now they've scored 7 unanswered.
You can't say enough about the way the Snowbirds have battled back. A lot of teams might have easily just laid down the final day of the regular season, especially falling behind 6-0. But no, they kept battling back, and they're out hitting the Grizzly by a good margin, 5-2 right now. Taking advantage of a few mistakes, as you said, Nash, and the Snowbirds are in control.
So Javon Canada, who's pitched 4 1/3 this year, has given up 6 runs. Falls behind 2-0 in the count on Yo, who walked and scored. He's the extra hitter today.
Yeah, Canada's listed as both an outfielder and a pitcher. He's done far more. He's had more opportunities as a hitter by far than as a pitcher.
3-0. With 2 down, and that's way outside. 4-pitch walk on Yo, and that's 2 walks for him today. That'll bring up PETA.
At this point, especially now that you're up a run, I'd love to see Yo take off. Whether he tries to steal second base straight up, or even if he wants to get in a run down to try and allow Stanley to score from third.
PETA singled, reached second in his first plate appearance. That's outside. 5 straight balls for Canada. Runners at the corners now. It's a 7-6 game. Snowbirds still up here in the bottom of the second.
And Yo has stolen 4 bases. It's an aggressive-looking lead.
There he goes. They're going to throw down to second, and that ball bounces. Run will score easily, and the stolen base. So it is 8-6 Snowbirds. Stanley comes in to score.
That'll be a double steal. And frankly, Stanley wasn't going as soon as the ball was released, but he saw that it wasn't a strong throw and it was a bit offline. Bainsberger had to kind of back up to take it on a hop. That allowed them to walk home, basically.
2-0 on PETA. It's one easy steal. And the Snowbirds now ahead by 2 runs. That's it. Into left field on a line and caught out there for out number 3. But the Snowbirds score 4 more. They've scored 8 unanswered. They lead the Grizzly 8-6. We'll head to the 3rd inning. You're listening to PSCL Baseball. Stillwell back out there, but this time with a lead. The Snowbirds lead at 8-6 as we head into the third inning. Nash Walker, Evan Schmeiser. In our final hour of the regular season in the Palm Springs Collegiate League, how do you feel?
You know, Nash, you put it that way. It feels awfully nostalgic, and that just makes me kind of sad. And that's coming to an end. Like, jeez.
You should see the look on Evan's face when I said that. It just hung.
Yeah, it just drooped.
Matsuzaki is back in for his second plate appearance. He singled in the first and scored. Remember our first hour? I don't. Feels like years ago.
Nash. Well, I think that was just an entire first inning. It was an entire first inning, basically. 45 minutes in the first inning between the A's and the Colonials. 15 combined runs.
1-1 on Matsuzaki, the center fielder for the Grizzly. A lot of runs today.
Yep. Nash even got to hear about my road trip to get out here.
1-1, hit out to third and through for a hit. Outler can't make the play over there, and it's a leadoff single.
Yeah, she jumped the gun there on Hammer. I wonder how he'll feel about that. I think it was a hit, too.
Didn't touch leather.
Yeah, and Outler was playing in almost like he was expecting a bunt. So that time worked out really well for Matsuzaki, the hitter.
And Cam Desjardins will come in, reached on error, and scored in the first. It was a 6-run top of the first for the Grizzly. They haven't scored since. And the Snowbirds have put up 8 unanswered.
But of course, for the Grizzly, they only trail by 2, and it'd still be a decent win for them to try and go after, even though their place in the standings shouldn't be affected either way. Momentum's everything when you get into a short playoff or it's single elimination, and it's over the course of 3 days.
That pitch is high, 1-0 on Desjardins, with Matsuzaki leading off first.
I'm pretty certain, Nash, the way the playoffs should work out. The Grizzly is the 4 seed. Woo, look out. A lot of hit batters today.
A lot of walks, a lot of hit batters. And now first and second, nobody out for pinch hitter. Someone's going to hit for Karamuchev here.
Who's this guy?
It'll be...
Saw his number. Find him on the website. Our analyst guys did a good job putting this website together. Or did they? Where is he? Don't see a 32.
The mystery man.
Well, Mr. Grizzly, chance to try and tie the game, perhaps.
And hits it out to third, chance at 2. Outler tags the runner, throw to first is off wide and gets away. So Desjardins is up to third. He'll be waved around. They finally get to the ball. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time. A run scores. So 1 out on the play, then a throwing error. Desjardins comes around to score. Matsuzaki is out, and Karamuchev moves up to second on the error. It's 8-7. Snowbirds lead the Grizzly here.
Well, that was a lot of action, Nash. My goodness. You know, sometimes in those balls to a third baseman, not exactly sure, should I try and tag the runner? Should I throw it to second base? It seemed like a pretty good idea to tag the runner because he had time to get the pinch hitter. Not the greatest speed going up the first base line. Throws just way off target.
That is in there for a strike. Nice paint on Shigemitsu. So the tying run at second base with 1 out. And Outler almost made a dazzling double play.
You got a lot on that throw, too. Good arm.
0-1 is in the dirt. Here's the snap throw to second, not in time. So that'll be E5.
I think they would have had him, too, on a good throw at first. You're not allowed to assume a double play. But Outler had the right idea. He did.
1-1 on Shigemitsu, who was the third out in the first inning. 1 down. Here's the pitch. In there. Strike 2, 1-2.
So a big chance for the Grizzly. The tying run on second base, Nash. Boy, it's been a strange game. 15 combined runs, 8 combined hits, 6 combined errors. I have to count a little bit to see how many walks and hit batters.
1-2. Good pitch, but Shigemitsu spoils it. Back into the screen. Here's the 1-2 again. Hit out toward right. Falling fast and landing foul. Good effort down there from Bowie. Didn't have a chance, and the count is still 1-2.
So let's see. If I counted correctly, it's a combined 11 walks and hit batters so far between the two teams. So that's a lot of extra traffic on the bases. Next thing I know, I might get a text from Hammer going, "No, you miscounted, Schmize." I think I counted it right.
1-2, swing and a miss. He got him. And Stillwell slams his glove. He's happy about that. A big second out. Runner still in scoring position. Lineup will flip over now for Jet Jacot, who was hit by a pitch and stole second in his second at bat. His first one he struck out swinging.
Well, if you're Jacot, base hit would just be huge to try to tie this game up.
First pitch on Jacot, in there for a strike, and he was the first batter of the game. He struck out swinging, and it was not a foreshadow for what was to come.
That's one way to put it, Nash.
Grizzly had a 6-run first. Snowbirds scored 8 unanswered, and now another run for the Grizzlies. It's 8-7. Snowbirds lead with the tying run at second for the Grizzly here.
Now, Nash, I wonder if, do you have any idea if the 2-hour time limit will still be in effect for the playoff games?
It's a good question. That ball bounces away. Thinks about coming home, but will hold up at third. So ball gets away now, 90 feet away with 2 down is Grutzmacher, who's coming to run as the courtesy runner.
Yeah, it was a good effort from Farwell to try and block that ball. Those breaking balls are always tough. You don't know exactly which way they'll go once they bounce and hit the dirt. Although you just hit right off his shin guard. He tried to go over the block, and just not quite able to do so.
Can't do that again or Grutzmacher will score. That's inside, but fouled off by Jacot. Fastball on the hands. He's shaking his hand. That hurts.
That's not fun when you catch one of those right in on the handle. You ever, Nash, I bet you had some cold games in March and April up there in Minnesota.
It makes you not want to hit, honestly. It hurts so bad.
It doesn't feel good when you get those on the handle or off the end of the bat when it's cold.
Here's the 1-2. Again, it looked like a sinker, and Jacot shaking his hand again.
I like the idea there from Stillwell on the mound. Well, I got him on the hands once, I'll go right back in there. All right, one time we played an exhibition game in March for high school. It was flurrying. It was 28 degrees with a wind chill of 25, and my God, I got a base hit on a ball off the handle, and it hurt.
That's a called third strike. And the Grizzly are done here in the third, but they do get one back. The Snowbirds lead it 8-7, and they'll come up and hit when we return. Steed Outler is in for the Snowbirds here in the bottom half of the third. They lead at 8-7 over the Grizzly. Nash Walker, Evan Schmeiser, and Evan, the Grizzly, with the playoffs right around the corner, opted to go with a different looking lineup. Their top 5 leaders in OPS, none of them in the starting lineup today. Julio Vasquez, Gavin Grutzmacher, Tyler Priest, Ryan Kilbasa, and Cade Yasui. Yet, they have 7 runs on the board without their 5 best hitters on the season.
Well, they have taken advantage of 3 errors and a whole lot of walks and hit batters. But I will say this, it's definitely a great opportunity to give everybody else an opportunity, no doubt about that. And it's the final day of the regular season. The standings don't matter for the Grizzly either way, relatively low stakes. So it's a perfect time to get some of the other guys an opportunity who maybe haven't had quite as many at-bats.
That pitch is outside. It's 3-0, and now a called strike from Canada to Outler. Outler flew out to right field in his first at-bat.
And you can't forget with the All-Star game last night, several of those guys, if not all of them, were on the roster or even got a chance to play. So they might need a little bit of rest. Probably not bad for them by any means, having just played less than 24 hours ago, probably around 12 hours ago.
That ball hopped under the glove of Bamesberger, so it's a leadoff base runner here for the Snowbirds. We'll see how that one's scored. I don't know if it touched leather, but
I don't envy Hammer on this one. That's a tough one to try to score.
Either way, it'll bring Hatcher to the plate. He popped out to the catcher to finish off the first inning. A 4-run first for the Snowbirds. That is inside 1-0 from Canada.
And Hammer has ruled that an error all the way.
Okay, E4. And that hits Hatcher on the back. So first and second, nobody out. Quick little mound visit for Canada. A pat on the back.
I'm not counting how many hit batters we've had today. Feels like it's been a good amount. Were there a lot of hit batters the previous game we had, Nash?
Snowbirds have been hit twice. And the Grizzly have been hit twice. So 4 hit batters. We're in the bottom of the third.
That's a good amount.
First pitch on Ray, inside.
Hey, he's trying with the breaking ball. He's missed around that same spot inside to the righties a few times.
Walking Ray is like an instant triple. He's 12 for 12 in steals. He's got 2 steals already on the day. That's inside 2-0.
He'd have to run off a couple teammates, though, Nash,
True.
to try and catch Brant Cook and to be the stolen bases leader.
2-0 from Canada. Ray swings, and it's a blooper to short center. And it falls behind Jet Jacot. Couldn't tell. His body was covering the hop, but it's a single to left, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, Nash, that's another one of those where I'd love to see the exit velocity. That ball, it was a good pitch from Canada right in on the hands of Jack Ray. Good piece of hitting, fighting it off. Good effort from Jacot at short. And I really like the base running on the part of Outler and Hatcher, being able to read that ball well enough and able to move up to their next respective bases without being forced out.
Here comes Kyle Shore to chat with his pitcher, Canada. Now the bases are loaded. There's nobody out. And Barksdale is to the plate.
Yeah, Nash, we're definitely not going 7 innings today. The time limit will become a factor at some point if it isn't already. So if you're the Grizzly, you don't want this to get too far away, or else the Snowbirds could end up running away with it.
Barksdale flew out in his first at-bat. Now gets a chance with the bases loaded, trying to extend the lead. The Snowbirds lead at 8-7. Canada. Error, hit batter, and a single. Loaded the bases. That pitch is inside 1-0. You got action down there in the Snowbirds bullpen. And that's inside as well. It's 2-0.
Normally I'd say green light in this kind of situation, Nash. But if you're the Snowbirds, takes inside anyway for ball 3. But you'd have You have a lot you're playing for, especially trying to move up in the seeding, so I actually would have put a take sign up there, and I put another take sign up now.
Ethan Mann warming, and that's driven to left for a base hit. 1 run will score. It's station to station. And a 9-7 lead for the Snowbirds on an RBI single from Omari Barksdale.
You know, good piece of in from Barksdale on that. The amount of times I said I put a take sign on and a guy comes up with a base hit, it's way too many to count. What do I know up here? That's why I'm up here and I'm not in the dugout managing.
Keep the line moving. The bases remain loaded, and it'll flip over for Bowie, who's scored twice, been on twice. He singled, stole second in the first, and walked in the second.
You know what? These guys who are aggressive on the 2-0 and 3-0 counts, they're getting their money's worth, and they pay good money to be out here, Nash.
Bowie takes strike 1. 3 innings, 3 at-bats. You'd love to see that.
It's an interesting looking scorecard we have.
0-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss, 0-2.
I don't think anything can... Few things could top the scorecards we had for the A's last game going through the first inning.
0-2 on Bowie. And that is inside, 1-2. Try to go back to the off-speed.
He's tried several times with that curveball in the inside half. He just hasn't. He's nibbling with that.
So Barksdale at first, Ray at second, Hatcher at third. That's
Try another curveball.
down and away. So it's even up at 2-2.
The Snowbirds, a base hit here could really open this thing up if 2 runs come across.
And that's down and away. It's 3-2. So a full count. The payoff pitch, hit toward right, and that's going to fall for another hit. 1 run will score. Ray is held up at third, and it's 10-7. Snowbirds lead.
And good piece of hitting from Bo. He got a fastball away. He didn't try to do too much with it. If he tried to swing too hard or tried to pull it, that could have been a double play ball or a pop-up. Instead, he served that in the right field on the line and keep the line moving for the Snowbirds.
Stillwell's 1 for 2. The bases are still loaded with nobody out. Snowbirds threatening to break this open. In the third inning, a 3-run lead. First pitch on Stillwell is behind him for ball 1.
Heck of a play from Karamuchev to corral that pitch.
So Mann was up, now he's not in the Snowbirds bullpen. See if they burn Mann today. They're looking for a bigger lead.
I mean, Nash, how are we looking on the time limit?
We're at 126. They've got about
okay.
34 minutes to play.
Yeah, so unless something crazy happens, they'll play at least 4 innings, if not 5.
Action in that Grizzly bullpen.
Oh, big bender. He got it over for a strike.
Good pitch there to get back into it. Toby Karamuchev is warming for the Grizzly, and he has not pitched this year.
Wait a minute, the news behind the plate.
That pitch is down in the dirt, 2-2.
Nash, we got a task on our hands.
This is what happens with the Grizzly. I got a lot of players, a lot of numbers.
It's that 32 guy who's not on the website, who pinch hit last inning.
There's another ball, and it's 3-2.
I wonder if Hammer knows.
So 3-2 count, nobody out, bases loaded. Snowbirds lead at 10-7.
All right, if Hammer doesn't know, then nobody knows.
Here's the 3-2. Waits back and fouls it out of play.
Well, Nash, you were mentioning it earlier. The bleachers looking really good now. The city came to clean them up after our big festivities yesterday for Independence Day. Those fireworks were something.
Especially the finale.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the 3-2. Bounces way in front of the plate. Ball 4, and a run will come home. And here comes Kyle Shore. This looks like it'll be it for Javon Canada. Snowbirds lead by 4. The bases remain loaded with nobody out. We'll have a pitching change. Snowbirds ahead, 11-7. Toby Karamuchev is going to pitch for the first time this year for the Grizzly.
Yeah, he's listed as a catcher. It's what he's done all year. He's thrown one man out stealing, so see what kind of arm he has to offer coming out of the bullpen. Snowbirds will try and put this one out of reach. Still nobody out, the bases loaded. Oof, okay.
And that hit him in the foot.
That's a way to start it.
So another run scores, and it's 12-7. Bases still loaded, and nobody out.
Nash, I did not see that coming. That was a surprise. It's quite a way to greet somebody. Fellow catcher, nonetheless, with Farwell. Oh, I got to add my run on the scoreboard. I almost forgot about that one.
Snowbirds lead it by 5, 12-7. They still have the bases loaded. We'll see if they scratch this inning here pretty soon with a non-pitcher on the mound. Karamuchev, and that one's popped up. Short center field. Matsuzaki makes the call and catch. Here comes the run home. Throw to the plate is there. It's a double play. Oh, now they're going to say safe because he dropped the ball.
Oh, he did?
So initially called out, and they're going to say the ball was dropped. So that run is safe on a sac fly. So just one out on the play. And it's 13-7 Snowbirds with runners at second and third now.
And we've seen one strong throw already from Matsuzaki in center. He threw a strike to the plate on one hop. Boy, even though the call ultimately ended up being safe, man, if you're a Scott Watson, that Matsuzaki can throw.
Stillwell at third, Farwell at second, one down now. Snowbirds lead at 13-7 here in the bottom of the third. And here comes Yo to the plate. He's walked a couple times, and he hits that one high into left field.
That's it well.
That ball is hit hard and fair down the line. One run scores. And trotting home is Stillwell. It's a 2-run double. Excuse me, that was Farwell trotting home as the second run. 2-run double for Yo on a ball that was laced. Just missed a home run down the line, Evan.
Yeah, all three outfielders are playing Yo pretty shallow as they're going to wipe the inning right here. But just great piece of hitting. He hit the ball hard. He got up in the air, and it's traveled well all day.
So they're going to wipe the inning. That'll do it. It was a big inning for the Snowbirds, and I believe we'll play at least one more. Snowbirds lead it 15-7. Stillwell back to the mound for the Snowbirds, and they lead it by 9. They're up 16-7 as we head into the fourth. Nash Walker, Evan Schmeiser. I want to take this time to thank you for tuning in and supporting the broadcast throughout the season.
Oh, absolutely, my goodness. Clearly we're doing something right if you guys want to tune in each and every day along with George and Marshall. But it really has been an absolute treat. just getting a full season. I mean, Nash, we gotta go back and count, but with all these PSCL games, the power games at night, man, it's a lot of baseball.
Gorman steps in for the third time. Last half inning was scratched, so Yo's run will count, and it was an 8-run third. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 8 in the third for the Snowbirds. 6-run top of the first for the Grizzly. Thought they were going to run away with this game.
It really looked like it, Nash. It really did. It's a lot of crooked numbers.
That pitch is in there for strike 2. 0-2 on Gorman. Gorman walked in the first, scored, flew out to left in the second. Gorman, Bagatorian, Bamesberger due up. We'll see if the Grizzly go to their bench in the fourth, and that is down in the dirt, 1-2.
So Nash, rumor on the street is the folks are heading out today, flying back to Minnesota.
Folks are heading out today. They had a blast last night at this Power All-Stars game.
Yep.
And as you said, the fireworks, got to sit down and watch the fireworks with them. That was nice.
They're sitting right below us, too, offering us great encouragement.
And gum, at least to me.
That's good, too. Gum's good, too. That helps.
2-2 on Gorman. And that's down low, 3-2 from Stillwell.
Nash, when you hopefully make it to the big leagues and are calling games for the Twins, they're going to sit right below the box.
I'm sure they will. I'm going to say, hey, you guys go.
That's cool.
3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Gorman's down on strikes. Just the third strikeout of the day for the Grizzly lineup, and there's one down. And that'll bring up Bagatorian. Bagatorian 0 for 1 with a walk.
Bit more of a sparse crowd for the second game of the day. Pretty good sized crowd, honestly. For the first game of the A's and the Colonials. See some people enjoying the umbrellas down the left and right field lines.
1-0 on Bagatorian. And that is down in the dirt, but they're going to say he went around. It's 1-1.
Hammer's having fun with the Snowbirds team.
As he is every time they play here at the stadium. Breaking ball high, 2-1.
I thought also the North Stars where he liked them a lot.
I think he's making friends with just about everybody this summer, which is good for him. He's leaving here.
Yes.
Leaving us early to go to another job. That one's hit toward the gap
serious?
in left center and caught out there. Nice play for out number 2.
Nash, I was not aware of this news. Who told you
I
this?
think he's leaving us Friday after the championship. He's got another job lined up, and he's
good for him.
He's heading out. We're going to miss him.
I don't know what the job is. He's only going to be a sophomore in college.
There's a camaraderie in the morning with this group.
Yes, there is.
We're all here together early.
Yep. Yeah, whether it's us, George and Marshall, and the analytics guys, Hammer, another hit batter.
That gets Bamesberger on the bat, and it's a 2-out free pass.
Of course, Eli and Aiden.
Yep. Analytics crew
Yep.
certainly have bonded.
Davia, who's usually at the turf field.
I think that's why last night felt sort of significant and fun for us, because we've watched these guys compete every single morning. They go out there against the Power in front of a huge crowd. You know, they usually don't get big crowds when they play.
Not like
the
this.
Power.
Even the Power, you didn't get that crowd was by far the biggest of the season.
And they just gave it to them. Outplayed them.
I think we had 7,000 people in the house. That was a lot.
That pitch is down and away, 1-0. 2 down, Bainsberger off first. Shaked Baruch is in. Shaked flew out to right and walked in his first 2 plate appearances. That pitch is inside, 2-0. We'll see if we get a bottom of the 4th. We had 20 minutes left, but the first game was called early. This is the last day of the regular season, so teams trying to save arms, not push guys too hard before the playoffs. Bamesberger's going to take off, and he'll have a stolen base. 16-7 game. Snowbirds up by 9. So Bamesberger not very relevant to them at second base.
Nah, it's just going to be electric out here starting tomorrow with the postseason.
You can just tell that they're taking it seriously. They're saving their best arms.
Yep.
They're resting starters.
You know, hey, we got a title on the line. Do you remember who the defending champion is?
I do not. That's hit hard towards second. Played on a hop. Thrown on to first for out number 3. It's a scoreless top of the 4th. And we're going to see here.
Yeah, it's always an awkward little moment where you're not sure if they're going to take the field again or not.
And my sense is they will. So we will have a bottom of the 4th. The Snowbirds lead it 16-7. You're listening to PSCL Baseball. Here's PETA stepping in the bottom of the 4th. Snowbirds lead it 16-7 over the Grizzly. And it's been a fun day, fun season of PSCL action. 16-7, Snowbirds up by 9. They have 9 hits on the day. Grizzly have 3. That pitch is down and away, ball 1. PETA with a hit. He's 1 for 2 today. And that's in there for strike number 1, 1-1. So an 8-run third.
Nash, I'm really curious to see who ends up getting the Snowbirds and whether it's the first or the second round, especially which one of the first round bye teams gets them. It'll be a tough matchup.
Ground ball the third, strong throw for the first out, 5-3 on your scorebook. And for the first time, the leadoff man is retired.
That is saying something, Nash.
Bring up Outler.
We have action in the Snowbirds bullpen. I guess in case there's a 5th inning.
That pitch is up and in, 1-0.
That's Scott Detwater warming up. That's interesting. I figured he's a guy you'd want to save. He's getting up in a hurry, too. This is interesting.
That's foul back toward the PA booth.
Ooh, that just missed our press box. I'm ready for another foul ball, Nash.
As am I. I think it's time. That's foul back as well. It's 1-2.
Feels like it's been a long time since we had the one ball that hit off the top of our little wall here. And then the one that a couple have come into the PA booth this season. Right next door to us.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
All of a sudden, we're cruising along, Nash.
So 2 quick outs. And that'll bring up Hatcher. So a nice job here by Karamuchev. Gets a couple quick outs. And Hatcher steps in. Was hit by a pitch and scored in his last plate appearance. That was in the 3rd inning.
Nash, I'm curious about what that result on the turf field is. Looks like that game just concluded.
Yeah, I see blue, the Blue Sox.
Yep, there's the
Looks like
Blue Sox and the
Coyotes.
Dragons.
Oh, the Dragons.
Yep, that game just concluded. I don't want to assume too much, but the Blue Sox look like the happier team of the bunch.
Big swing from Hatcher. It's 1-1. 1-1, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Snowbirds lead it 16-7. The 1-1 from Karamuchev, and that's fouled. Back. That's the life of a catcher.
Yeah, that got him pretty good with the chest protector. Looks like he's okay, though. Umpire's going to give him a moment. That was a loud thump, too.
Mm-hmm. So count still 1-2.
Now, so I'm going to go on a limb and say the Blue Sox won that game on the turf field. All I can go by is body language or crowd language. So, I mean, we take a look at the standings. The A's won earlier. They're locked into the number 1 seed. The Blue Sox and the Lumberjacks were each tied for the 2nd seed coming into today. I'm not sure who would own the tiebreaker. The Lumberjacks do not play today. They have off.
2-2 is high, 3-2.
So in that case, the Blue Sox won that last game. I guess they're the 2nd seed. And the Jacks are the 3rd seed. Grizzly locked into the 4th seed. The Chill, they came into today 7-7. And if the Dragons just lost, that locks the Chill in as the 5th seed.
That's taken up high, ball 4 from Hatcher, and that fires up the Snowbirds dugout for whatever reason.
Maybe, let me see, maybe Hatcher's more, I think that was Detweiler who was hitting. Oh no, wait, is Detweiler hitting now? Oh, numbers. Oh, Scott Detweiler was actually hitting. That's why they were freaking out, 'cause he's a pitcher.
Well, I think it's,
Good lead over there.
I believe that was Hatcher, number 12. And now you have 15.
Oh, wait, I think Detweiler's up now.
Oh, they're happy
Oh,
because
I see.
Detweiler's going to get an at-bat.
Yes, okay, now it makes sense.
So Scott Detweiler, the pitcher who's thrown 16 innings this year with a 3.37 ERA, is going to get an at-bat at the bottom of the 4th. That makes sense.
We got word from Hammer, and sometimes you wonder if the text has been delayed several seconds, if the context of the situation changes. But Detweiler's now hitting.
So it's 1-1 on the pitcher.
And it's his first at bat this season.
2 down, bottom of the 4th. Snowbirds lead at 16-7. He takes inside 2-1.
Nash, how about if he just rips one into the right center field alleyway? There's a lot of room over there. Baruch is playing pretty close to the line in right. And Matsuzaki shaded a little towards left center.
Karamuchev to Detweiler, the 2-1, inside 3-1.
I really want to see Detweiler just swing no matter where this next pitch is.
I think you will.
Like, why not?
3-1 count, 2 down. And swing and a miss, 3-2.
Aggressive looking swing. Stepped in the bucket a little bit. I think it's another one in that same spot. I think maybe he can time him up.
Karamuchev probably just has to be somewhere in the vicinity of the zone. And that's chopped up the first baseline fair. Played on a
Good
couple
speed.
hops, and Detweiler runs it out, but he can't beat the tag at the base. So that's out number 3. Snowbirds still lead it 16-7. Looks like we'll play. No, that's it. So the Snowbirds win. They beat the Grizzlies 16-7, and Evan, the regular season here at Palm Springs Stadium is officially over.
Absolutely right. It's been a blast. It's going to be a really, really exciting next few days. The championship on Friday, and the playoffs, of course, starting tomorrow. A big win for the Snowbirds, frankly. I mean, they have a chance to jump as high as the 5th seed. Depends on, obviously, a bunch of other games, but I think they could get a lot of momentum from this, especially in dominating a very good and consistent Grizzly team.
Final here, Snowbirds 16, Grizzly 7. And that's it for the regular season. Thanks so much for listening. Nash Walker, Evan Schmeiser checking off. Next time we talk to you, it'll be the PSCL playoffs. Thanks again, Ev. Enjoy the Power game tonight, and join us for that on the Palm Springs Power YouTube page. They're taking on the Arroyo